Hey there, it is Dusty Thunder with another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for retaking bridesmaids photos without one particular bridesmaid? Okay, so I'm using a throwaway just to be extra safe. I, 23 female, got married 2 weeks ago to my 24 male husband, and it was so great. I had 5 bridesmaids plus my maid of honor, but I'll just refer to all of them as bridesmaids. Between the ceremony and the reception, we took photos, as you do. The problem started when it was time to take photos with my bridesmaids. One of my bridesmaids, 23 female, and who I've been friends with since college, is super tall and has a muscular build. I'll call her In. In really stands out next to me and my other bridesmaids. She was also wearing a patterned dress when I specifically asked all of my bridesmaids to wear solid colors. They got to pick their own dresses and just had to match the color I picked ahead of time. So between the dress and her build, In really stood out in the photos and was throwing them all off. After the first round of pictures, we all gathered around the photographer to see what we had so far, and I swear everyone had the same thought simultaneously. Of course, nobody said anything because she's our friend and we wouldn't want to be rude. I would have just sucked it up, but In herself turned to me and said, I understand if you want to take some without me. She didn't seem sad or anything, and she was even laughing a little, so I told her I thought that was a good idea, and me and my other bridesmaids retook the photos without her. That's, if I were around for that conversation or that whole thing, I'd be like, this is really uncomfortable, guys. And if I'm the photographer there who's looking at the pictures and seeing this shit go down, I'm like, this day is f***ed. I feel bad for her. I mean, this is aesthetic, like judging on her appearance alone. Why did you invite her to be a bridesmaid if you're going to judge her for being tall like this? Like, yes, the pattern dress, I understand. But at the end of the day, she's tall and muscular, and you're judging her for that. That's Fast forward to about an hour into the reception, In finds me and congratulates me and says something came up and she needs to leave early. So we said goodbye, and that's it. So now it's been 2 weeks since my wedding and I haven't heard from In at all, but that's not strange since I've hardly heard from anybody since they know I'm on my honeymoon. The photographer sent me the finished photos yesterday and I posted my favorites on Facebook. I did not include any with In since I was only posting like 30 of the absolute best ones. Pretty quickly after posting them, In messaged me saying how hurt she was that I didn't post any with her in them and that I took photos without her in the first place. Why would In say what she said? Maybe it's because she could just feel the vibe? Probably. I apologized, of course, and told her I would post the rest of the photos in a few days. I also reminded her that she was the one who suggested that I take some without her. She called me a narcissist and selfish, and now she's not responding to me at all. I'm so confused since she literally told me I could retake them without her. I also don't think it's such a crime for me to want my wedding photos to be perfect. My husband also agrees with me. However, I can tell that she's really hurt. She's not the type to get worked up like this over nothing. Am I the astronaut? Edit, I posted the photos with her in them. Okay, so she posted, I don't think that fixes anything. I've got to go candy cam here. Oh. I've got to, hi. Hi. I have to do this here because this is, she received the girl vibe transmission, right? If OP can say, I swear everybody had the same thought simultaneously, how did she know that? Girl vibe? Because if she picked up on it, In definitely picked up on it.
Yeah, I would have said what In said, but I also wouldn't have wore a patterned dress.
I get that.
Like, that part is the part that's like, that makes her an asshole too. So it's kind of an ESH. Like, I think the bride sucks worse because, like, even if somebody, I can say this now, like, post-wedding, 10 years down the road, I don't care what dress somebody else wore in my wedding photos. I just don't. Like, I care about the day. I cared about having photos from the day. Like, it doesn't, 10 years down the road, the dress won't matter. Right. I guess 10 years down the road, will your friendship matter? And that's what I would have asked myself. But I can ask that myself with the wisdom that I have in my 30s versus what I didn't have in my 20s.
Look, do you think OP would have taken photos without her if she had been the same height and build as everybody else, but wearing the pattern dress? I don't. I think the height and build was the biggest driver here, and I think the dress was secondary.
I mean, maybe that's the only dress she could find that worked for her build, and maybe that's where she ended up. I don't know. I don't, that shit doesn't matter to me. So it's hard for me to feel like that's something that I would get worked up about, like how somebody looks in a dress.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't care. So I feel like for her to care this much, I would never remove someone that was my bridesmaid from my photos. I wouldn't ask them to step aside. I wouldn't shame them for how tall they are. I wouldn't shame them for their build. And I feel like she's ultra shitty, like super shitty, way shittier than the bridesmaid. And so I don't know, but
you feel like N is gets in on the ass con rating because she wore the pattern dress when she was explicitly told not to.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, she's not like a AskCon 1 or anything, but yeah, she gets a little bit of an asshole thing for that. But I also feel like she felt the vibe and felt like when they were looking at those pictures, she felt it and was like, I'll step aside. And she's probably done that a lot to make other people feel comfortable when she feels uncomfortable. Yeah. And that's, I hate that for her. But I understand why she did it. And I understand her as a person for doing that. So,
yeah. Something important here that Shaz pointed out, and I agree with that. I don't believe for a second the bride didn't know what dress was going to be worn by a bridesmaid.
Yeah. She seems like the bride that would know that she was wearing a patterned dress. Yeah, I agree. And the bride gives me gross vibes. Like just the way, even if like all of this happened, why the fuck would you not post one photo with your friend in it?
Yeah.
Like that's just shitty. No one cares. It's a Facebook post or wherever. Like you're just being shitty at that point, not to post the photo.
Yep. Agreed. And Ellen, good point. Like if the issue really is the dress, have the photographer edit the dress. Totally doable. It's pain in the ass, but doable. Between the build and the dress. Yeah. It's the build. And
so In was tall and what was it?
Tall and muscular. Is super tall and has a muscular build. My question is, like,
why the f*** does that matter if you invite her to be a bridesmaid?
If there was even an inkling of a possibility that was going to be an issue for photos, you shouldn't have invited her to be a bridesmaid. That's it. And when you did invite her to be a bridesmaid, I think you turned over the ability to judge for those things. Dress, yeah. But again, that's something she had to have known about ahead of time. And at minimum, had the opportunity to do an edit with afterwards. Her picking up on the vibe because you did. Surely she did. And she's like, hey, I get it. That was your opportunity to be like, oh, no, honey, you're one of us. We're in this together. And instead you were like, I think that would be best. Would you mind stepping aside over here? Okay, come on, girls. And then made her watch while everybody else took pictures. So, yeah.
So, you know what? I'm going to revise mine. I think the bride is AskCon 1. Boop. And if I was going to put in on the scale, it would be a 4.
For the pattern dress, and that's it.
I don't even know the bride. You need to find a new friend because that girl ain't it. Like I don't.
I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what she was thinking there.